Volk Spielin!
Ahoy there, Volk Spielin here, and welcome back to Volk Spielin. So, I do want to apologize for last week's video. I do realize that it was quieter, and I hope this is a little bit more loud. But I'm continuing the Volk Spielins where I'm going to be talking about games about 2020. Last week was about the games I was disappointed in. Not necessarily saying they were bad, but they were something that either I was really hyped up for, but they just didn't come out, or they just didn't perform as well as they should have. Like, for example, Fall Guys, I didn't think that was a bad game. I had a lot of fun. It works perfectly. The problem with the Fall Guys was, as I stated, they just weren't able to keep up and updating the game like, say, Fortnite did when they came out with their Battle Royale. So, getting to this week, these are going to be the 5 games that I wish I played. These were the games that either I didn't know anything about and then I heard about them and I'm like, oh, they're awesome, or I was on the fence about them and then just later realizing I want to play them. But these are games that I have not played because I try not to research games until I try to do the basic research, just find out, like what the game is, game style, and all that, because I like to be surprised. And I think there's a lot of other people that like to be surprised, or at least that's why they enjoy like watching like Let's Plays and all that. So these are the games, 5 games I wish I played in 2020 with one honorable mention. And the honorable mention is Cyberpunk 2077. And I know I consider this a 2021 game last week, and I still do. But the only reason why it's on this list is because I kind of wanted to be caught up with the game with all the chaos and bugs and glitches and all that. I think it would just been funny. Just be like, oh yeah, I was there. I remember that game. It was pooey. But that's just being an honorable mention. I still consider it a 2021 game, and I'm still possibly getting it, but as of now, I am not. So, with that out of the way, number 5 is going to be Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Now, I'm not going to go over why I didn't buy these games, just because it was like time or money or, basic stuff like that. But I'm going to be going over why I wish I would play it. And it's because I've never played the Dynasty Warrior gameplay where you're like your solo warrior and you're fighting an army all by yourself and you're just doing these moves and you're knocking all these players away. And honestly, up until a few years ago, I really didn't know anything about this genre existing until I was shown by one of my families. Sorry. And then I watched the gameplay of it, and I'm like, oh, this is fun. How come I've never heard of this? And, like, Dynasty Warrior is kind of a small, well, not necessarily small, but it's not as renowned, say, like Mario or something. But it's a game genre that I've always been kind of interested in, and I just wish I would play it. And I think I technically had the first one for the 3DS. But I mean, who plays a 3DS anymore? Like, I'm only playing it now just so I can beat Pokemon Moon because I do not like that game. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I love Pokemon, but for some reason, that game is a schlock for me. But getting back to Hyrule Warriors, I just really like the concept of it, and I would really kind of want to play it. I like Breath of the Wild, the parts I played. I've never beaten Breath of the Wild yet, and that's on my to-do list, but I kind of like this being a prequel, and I just want to play it and see how it is and enjoy this game style. So that's why it's coming in at number 5. Number 4 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Now, I'm going to try to make sure I don't get a lot of remakes on here. And this is going to be the only remake on this list. But the reason why it is because I absolutely enjoyed playing this when I was younger, but I never actually played the official game. Back in there, whenever the stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut came out, they had these demo discs where if you bought a pizza, you got one of these demo discs. And Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 was on one of the discs. And I would play the absolute crap out of it. I would play Final Fantasy VIII. I would play Crash Team Racing, and I would play the Tony Hawk. And I just remember me and my sister actually making a contest to see who could get the most points in the level before time ran out. And it was just a super fun game that I always wished I got. But then by the time I was able to get my own games, we moved to the next generation, to GameCube, and so on and so forth. And it completely left my mind until I saw it come out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that game, and I've always wanted to try it. So that's, again, one of the games on my list, and that's why it's coming in at number 4. Number 3 is, I'm going to kind of consider one of the sleepers of 2020, and that's 13 Sentinel Aegis Rim. I'm bad at pronouncing names, so I do apologize if I butchered it. If you want to put a pronunciation down in the comments, go ahead. But I have heard nothing but amazing stuff of this game. I heard it's super fun, and they made a game called Odin Sphere, which I have another friend, and she absolutely loves it. And I believe this is the game style is like a visual novel, which I've never really played those kinds of games. But I heard this is a lot of fun and is extremely worth the time and dedication to it. So it's a game I definitely want to be playing and possibly streaming in the near future if I ever get it. And I definitely want to try it out. So that's number 3 for the list. Number 2 is going to be Crash Bandicoot 4. Now, I adore the Crash Bandicoot series, but if I'm being honest, I think I like Spyro a little bit more. But honestly, Crash Bandicoot, I absolutely loved those games. The original ones on the PlayStation. I just remember I would try to get all the crystals, all the gems, just everything about it. And then when they came out with the Insane Trilogy remake, I'm like, throwing down the money, doing the fry meme, like, shut up and take my money. And I bought the game and I absolutely adored it. I just remember the pain of the bridge levels and the one where you're going up the wall. I was stuck on that for so long, and then when I finally beat it, I'm like, yes! And then I gotta go to 2, and then 3, and it was so much fun. I enjoyed it. And then with 4 coming out, I was super excited because I'm like, this company did a fantastic job because they had to recode everything. They weren't able just to get the old game and just kind of program it with new models. They had to redo everything by hand, which shows the dedication they had to this game. And this new series, I'm just extremely thrilled and wanting to play it. And I just kind of ran out of time because I believe it came out in like October or something. And I've just wanted to play this game for so long, and I hope they do well secretly so that way they can make Spyro 4. And that's what I'm wishing. And then number 1 is Paper Mario and the Origami King. And this is the weird game, and this is the one that should be on this list for the right reason. Because the other ones, they're like, oh, they're games I was excited for, or I was told by word of mouth, or yada yada. But this one I knew it was coming for a long time, because I watched the Nintendo Direct, and because everyone was like, oh, is it Thousand Year Door remakes? And it wasn't. And that's kind of why it's on this list, is because I know it's not going to be a Thousand Year Door remake, and I feel like that... Sorry, I'm trying to think of the words. I don't do good with scripts. I do better where I'm kind of ad-libbing. Because when I do scripts, I have to delete and restart all the time. So, with Paper Mario and the Origami King, I heard this is a good game. But the problem when I have it, and I would say a lot of the Paper Mario fans, is we always do the comparison of, is this Thousand Years Door 2? And I think that's a problem that or at least I need to learn how to drop, because having that pedestal to put these games on really hurts the franchise. And I understand it's like we want to recapture that, but at the same time, it's like they're clearly not going to. They're clearly not going to make another Thousand Year Door 2, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad game. And I feel like that's what holds this game back a lot. So I really want to try this game with the mindset of this is not going to be a Thousand Year Door, and see if I still have fun with it. Because I love RPGs, and I heard it was a good game. It has good reviews. But I just got to get over that mindset of it's not Thousand Years Door 2. Now, if they do a remake of that, I'm throwing my money down like I did for Crash Bandicoot. But that's going to be it for the top 5. I'll have the list up here again. and then also with the honorable mention. But we're going to end the episode here, and then next week it's going to be a little longer episode because it's going to be my top 10 video games of the year of 2020. So if you want to, want to be alerted when that comes out, don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you like this video, please let me know by liking it and subscribing it. And if you want to be ready for when that top 10 episode comes out, just go ahead and ring the bell. And what kind of gaming topics do you guys want to hear me talk about? I have a couple ideas in mind what I want to talk about, but if you have something where it's like, oh, talk about this, talk about that, I'm more than willing to look and listen to it and then decide if I want to or not. So just repeating myself because I like to end it like that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon for notifications. And then until next time, peace!